Hi, Janelle Schaefer here, and I have a new phone and it looks awesome, but I'm trying to figure out how to use it. So I was talking about mugwort, and I love mugwort. This is, though, a new love. I only really just became acquainted with this plant this year, and I don't remember how exactly that came to be, but I was busy trying to identify all the plants in my perimeter in my yard and expanding area, and I think that's how I identified it. And I really fell in love with this plant right away, especially because it's super beneficial for dreams and sleep, and not so much anymore, but I used to have a lot of trouble sleeping at night. But when you take a smudge stick of Artemesia vulgaris or mugwort and you burn this in the evening, it will enhance your dreams and make them more memorable. And I have a friend who I just made a smudge stick for, and she did this just the other night and told me she had, and I didn't tell her what would happen. She told me she had vivid dreams that she remembered very well, and so did her husband. So it's a very interesting plant. It doesn't smell particularly delicious. The fresh plant, the leaves that I was touching, had like it's a nice aroma, musky a little bit, but it's unique and very interesting. I just heard Susan Weed call it the Cronewort, and she likened mugwort to motherwort and chickweed, which she called maidenwort. So the three are sister plants that are great for women's issues. I do not personally feel like I've had experience using plants that way, those three plants that way. Well, motherwort, but chickweed I mainly use for a kind of cleansing purpose or pulling things out of the skin. And mugwort, I have definitely enjoyed mugwort tea for relaxation and the dream enhancement. So it's a fabulous plant. It spreads, it grows easily, and if you are in the eastern area of Pennsylvania, you will find it everywhere, and I wish I would have collected more than I did this year. Hi, Janelle here, and I was taking a walk, and I happened upon this little patch of mugwort, and I'm gonna just go close so you can see this plant. And I'm gonna flip over the other side. The mugwort has a very light underside compared to the top. It's a light green and dark green. And this patch has been cut many times, so it's very clipped and low and has divided, where mugwort can get kind of high and grow upwards. So this is just me filming close so you can see the mugwort, and then I will talk some more about what you want to use mugwort for. Okay, so what I have now in front of me is my potted mugwort, and I'm just going to come in here slowly. Let's look at the leaves. These are little baby leaves. I'm going to go over here. Underneath is this, right there, silvery color, and then you can see the top part is dark. So this plant is in seed right now. And in the previous clip, you saw a mugwort plant that was cut numerous times, so it's still like growing nice and fresh and green, but this one was allowed to come up and flower and turn to seed. And so I have planted my mugwort in the ground, but I also wanted to have a potted version because I do like to have my herbs in pots. Here are the little flower buds. Just go around again. But it's on its last legs. This will come back up next year. So it will return and bloom again. So here we go. I have a much better plant of mugwort. This one is rooted in the ground here, and I think this is about 4 feet high, this plant. And it is not brown like the other one in the pot because I did not neglect to water this because it's in the ground. But it smells amazing. It smells like mugwort. And you can see the silvery leaf on the underside and the dark green and the little seeds here. And this was my first experience planting mugwort. I actually transplanted it from a hike that I went on, and I am just like in love with this plant.